Yeah, that was a little damage.
We all know that we have some kind of addiction, and that is the addiction for Warcraft 3. Here's the match that we're going to show you first. It's 1-0 versus Chimiko. China versus Korea. Once again, unfortunately, we don't have a picture of Chimiko yet. But, alright. 1-0. Third best player in the world currently, according to our ELO ranking. And, yeah, his biggest success, of course, the win in the past GCS season. He is the champion of the Gold Championship Series, and he's facing the guy that might be the most improved player of 2017 so far. That is Chaemiko, and we go into the game as soon as I fix the colors. Chimiko staying true to his brown, which I don't like.
Yesterday he switched it up a little.
Ah, okay.
He at one point went to dark green, which is also a very beloved color by us.
This should just be banned. I mean, I said
and
this so many times.
He's going old school, man. He's going MK first.
Oh.
Is he like one of the students of Yumiko?
Might be. I mean, Yumiko was always more open to foreigners to practice with them. So I don't see a reason why not. And yeah, we're live in
Chechi was also... should we go to Skype, by the way, after this game?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, Chechi was also on stream quite a bit yesterday after you left. And if he would be seeing this right now, the baby rage would be starting because, of course, the early game is going to be all about MK bolts around. I think he scouted this with an Acolyte, right? No, he didn't. So he might run into Surround right here.
Alright, here we go. First Stormbolt, first Surround, and it sticks, of course. There's only 2 skeletons here. I don't know if he can fight out. No, it's the immediate loss of the town portal for 1-0. Who is the clear favorite in this match, of course. I mean, 77% of our viewers voted for the champion here. But the Korean keeps on surprising, and yeah, that's the danger of a Mountain King early on.
Honestly, it's kind of the only thing he can do. Bolts around stuff. He is much less versatile than an AM is, but that big strength, only he and the Dreadlord basically have that option in the early game. And now the DK needs to be very, very careful, but he knows about the MK now, so he should be able to play accordingly.
Has to be a lot more careful, of course, and I wonder how many peasants Chaemiko is going to pull. Because usually on AI you need like 8, 9 maybe if you play it like Yumiko does. Nice call by 1-0, stealing that experience and keeping him away from level 3, which is key in this matchup, of course.
And there was also, if you want to get really into the detail, nice like WFZ yesterday. The creep had 103 HP, the coil flies, and the skeleton right-clicks at the same time. Yeah, seems like they guys got this down, but now the bolts around might be catching him.
One footman missing to this Surround, but he has one more. And he's pulling Militia, and this time it has to stick, and this must be the end for the DK. There's no way he can find that. He closes it with another Militia, and the DK dies for the first time, giving Chimiko so much time to build his Expo up now.
Not being careful enough. The ghouls are coming in now. This would be a strong harass if the DK was here as well. The skeletons, with the 2 coils he still had, they're still gonna try to harass here. I think they stole the No, they didn't. Okay. But they killed one of the footies. But it means only 4 ghouls. Yes, the militia don't like this interference, but this Expo is gonna come up safely.
Indeed, and the Mountain King is gonna be level 3. Here you go, level 2 Stormbolt. He gets the Parrot of Vitality, which is not the best, but snipes a ghoul immediately. Well, I'm having some spikes here and there, but I think it should be fine. Yeah, the early game was a complete disaster for the Chinese, but now Fiends are coming, and he still has a few ghouls. This is like his new opening, right, to the Undead versus Human matchup with a few ghouls to pressure even more. I've seen this quite a lot.
Really? I don't see. I'm not so familiar with this new style, but I haven't watched too many games of his lately. I was assuming that this was mostly because of the MK. Of course, ghouls are much less effective against water elementals, and against MK, especially on a map where it's so hard to expand as it is here, early ghoul harass can be worth it. I mean, in total he killed like, I want to say 4 or 5 peasants, so that's not bad, but he traded it for a DK and a ghoul, so of course the favor lies in the human's court. But it's not game over territory, not by any means.
That's true. The level 2.5 now for him. Speed build on Chaemiko's Town Hall. There's only one Arcane Tower so far. Does he go for Lumber Mill? Yes, he does have that. And of course, additional Footman, while the tech of 120 is already on the way to tier 3, man. 1/3. And the Slaughterhouse is there as well. We're waiting for the Lich. He's postponing it quite a bit for the sake of a fast attack and the Slaughterhouse. So two...
In favor of the Slaughterhouse, which is surprising to me. With the MK, it's a lot of burst damage. It's not like the AM who chases you, throws out the fireballs, where this continuous sustain from the statues is so valuable. So I'm really surprised he doesn't go for the Lich quicker, because Frost Armor is such a big help against the bolts around stuff. But alright, if someone knows about it, of course, it's supposed to be the champion here. In the pink color, by the way. Taking after the glorious Unit Player Remo demo.
Yeah, of course, that's the reason. You influenced him in Shanghai last year.
I mean, who can blame him, right?
Of course. So, Chimiko's getting some info on what's going on. He sees, alright, tier 3 tech already. Must be wondering why there is no Lich. And he dives into that base. There is an Nerubian tower. Okay, now he steps out. Oh, onto the Footman, actually. Snipes the first Acolyte, and that is so annoying. Every Undead player knows about this. A good amount of Footmen are coming in as well. And that's some decent damage, but this is of course the town portal, which he can afford, of course, because of the expansion though.
He can afford the TP, but he's not tier 2. He can't heal up with potions. He doesn't have Shadow Priests, and his TP is gone now, obviously. So this MK needs to be careful. He needs that shop. He needs the healing. Once the push comes from the Undead, if the MK dies, everything else will fall most likely.
That's correct, but he has the shop up, it was in time, gets the regen scroll immediately and also the clarity for more Stormbolt. And I don't think that 120 can push that hard already. He has 3 Fiends, not even a level 3 DK, so he needs to take a sweet time to kill a few more creeps to get to level 3, and then maybe he can do something, but in that time there's gonna be reproduction of Footman, and I think he can hold this.
Chimiko was thinking about the laboratory creep there, but that's so risky. There's so much poison there. Everything is injured for him. He doesn't have a TP, and he's not gonna risk it in the end. Level 3 for the DK right around the corner. He's gonna reach it right here as the MK marches towards the main again. Of course, Acolyte kills won't be so painful now, as the tech is finished. But he lost quite a few resources over the course of this game. He still doesn't have the orb. He's still at only 37 supply, and he's gonna take more losses now.
Yeah, snipes the Acolyte, and yeah, well, the Mountain King runs away. Does he sacrifice all the Footmen here for the sake of even more echo advantage? I'm doubtful that he can kill a few of those Acolytes here.
And he traded 3 or 4 footies.
Yeah.
For 2 Acolytes. That is not worth it.
No. And then another Footman dies to the coil.
If you're an AM, it would be easier to fend off this mid-game aggression. But now with 2 footies, how does he keep these Fiends at bay?
That's definitely a problem. Does he have defend? Yes, he does. So that's a little help. He produces 2 more Footmen. There is towers coming up at the expansion. It's pretty well walled off. Not perfectly, but you know, it's okay. But 120 has 2 statues. Finally, he has the orb on the ledge, and he might be able to tear down these towers. I think it's gonna work, man. Nice illusion scout.
Is under siege.
Huh?
Guard tower, so not that much defense yet, but only 3 Fiends. Oh, he's forgetting about one of the Acolytes in the gold mine. He thought he reproduced them all, but one's missing.
Oh boy. Oh no, now he realized it. And at first he knocks down the shop. That means, of course, no breakers and no clarities anymore. And no potions. So Chaemiko has to repair against this and at some point intervene. But at the moment he's doing nothing.
A town is under
Getting
siege.
another shop up. The Blood Mage's second double Arcane Sanctum is coming. Of course, he feels the pressure. He needs the breakers.
That's a standard MK play. Happy is really good against this. He somehow always finds the timing to tech to tier 3, creep up the entire map, and then at some point hit with destroyers and kill the expo and have 70 supply, but that timing's pretty tough to find. As we see Chimiko running towards the undead main again. This time he's going to be going for the ghouls first, but the acolytes in the back are, of course, the prime target.
Yeah. Well, nice block. And he keeps a statue in the base to heal against this. And keeps on losing peasants at his expansion. It's the second one already. The shop is gone. And as I said, he's rebuilding it at the main, but that's not where you really want it. And once again, this harass didn't do too much. He keeps sending footmen in, but against ghouls, these towers, the Black Citadel, they don't stand a chance. So I don't really know what this is for. Blood Mage and Mountain King reunited for the first time.
And the footies are still doing their job here. The ghouls are gone now. There's no destroyers here to deal with them. I think the DK should have stayed at home and deal with these with Rods of Necromancy. That's really all you need. DK and Rods, and then the footies will die over time. I think 1-0 is taking a little too much damage here from all of this harass. Are coming out, and once there's like, let's say 6 to 8 of them, then I think Chaemiko should be fine to engage.
I agree, it just needs a little more time. Has a heal scroll, potion, and siphon mana, of course. First destroyer in the air for 1-0, but still 3 towers fighting here. Yeah, standing tall there. Lich not level 3, DK level 3.5. The destroyer is of course super annoying since he has no anti-air as of now. But he's not planning to go for that, as it seems.
Control the destroyer well. They're so good for spotting, as you say. Blood Mage is the only anti-air level 1 hero, not much damage. Gives you so much information when the MK is coming in, so you can prepare for the bolt. Speaking of which, here it flies onto the Lich. Can't really surround with that few breakers. Also, there is an invul on the second hero. But the expansion, it keeps mining, but not completely at 100%.
True. And he loses a lot of resources reproducing the peasants and repairing the guard towers. But now the Stormbolt stuff begins against the Fiends. Just picking them off one by one. One Stormbolt is basically 1 kill if you don't coil fast enough. Here's the Invul Potion on the Lich. Oh, there's the call by 1-0. Good timing, but will it be enough? Nice block from the Militia that should secure the kill, but no. A little slippy and micro, and he even burrows them. Oh, goes for the Lich again. Coil in time. That was pretty good, but he's still surrounded by the peasants, and he can't get out, and he dies again. That means the orb is gone, and how do you want to do damage now?
And Chimiko is suddenly on a great way to win this first map, which is absolutely an undead map. Bloodrock and Ancient Isles are the 2 horrible ones for humans. You can argue which one is worse. And, man, Chimiko surprising us here at number 1.
Yeah, that is, well, of course, the start with losing the town portal was the worst for 1-0. Opening up a timing window that is so hard to...
And now we have level 2 on the Blood Mage, making this even more dangerous with the Siphon Mana. Nice surround again. Man, Chaemiko with these mechanics, like the blocks, the surrounds, also yesterday, the games you missed in the Human Mirror, were really, really good. So it's not like he's only about expanding and, you know, winning this through economy. He has the mechanics to back it up. And yeah, we are now at like 5 to 6 breakers, and we don't have really strong heroes or a couple of A-bombs. These guys are so hard to bring down. And he doesn't really have the levels or the mana to take on the heroes either.
That's right. See more and more breakers from Chimiko. I know. Chimiko has 1,500 gold. What the hell? A little slippy.
Finally we have a Zeppelin. This is basically the best MK counter. If something gets bolts around, just pick it up. But it was late. It was too late.
Oh, he's not using it. He's not. Oh, only now. But the HP is already gone. 1-0 now has to use the Book of the Dead he just found to get rid of Chimiko at this point. Getting some more experience. Dropping the Lich to get him experience as well. But still, he's backed against the corner. Oh, nice nuke on the Mountain King. Has to be careful. There's no invul, no healing anymore, but the level up saves him. There's no coil. There's no Nova. But he has to get away from this position. That was quite decent for him.
Knows you can't load up into the Zeppelin if the unit is stunned.
Ah, of course, yeah.
So then during Bolt or Bash, it's gonna make it difficult. He's gonna get, I think, the first breaker of this game here.
Might be, yeah. Oh, the Skeletons killed one more.
Oh, not bad. But Chimiko is swimming in cash right now.
And he's going for tier 3.
He's super safe. He's not even going into upkeep, saying, well, I can hold this aggression with 6 breakers, no problem.
Yeah. Tier 3, 1/3 done for the Korean. And yeah, I think the only chance for 1-0 is to catch him off guard, get a creep jack, but how and when? It's not getting easier as the human tech proceeds. He does have a Dark Ranger now, so maybe the skeletons will help, and also the ghoul for normal damage. If you can get rid of the blacksmith, then no workshop and no gyros, that would be nice.
0's best shot at this point would either be break the expansion really decisively, which I'm really not sure would work, or out creep the human heavily on the rest of the map, hoping that at the moment his tech advantage can secure him map control.
But I don't know, man. The big spots are all closer to Chaemiko's base. He finds a Book of the Dead as well. Of course, not that great against destroyers. But yeah, he's diving into the expansion, doing some damage to the town hall and slaughtering the peasants again, which is, of course, economy damage that he needs right now. But does he have the time? I don't think so. There has to be a town hall.
Was Chimiko too greedy? He's still swimming in 2k gold. Is he gonna lose his expo here because he didn't want to invest the money?
Wow. He has massive lumber issues. He can't
Oh no, he's throwing this game away.
It all looked so good. But yeah, he can still explode in like 80 food.
Imagine if he hadn't teched, it would have just produced like 10 breakers. But now it's gone. Oh, Chaemiko. Maybe feeling too safe. Maybe getting nervous because he was in such a lead against arguably the best unhit player in the world.
Well, tier 3 is finished. He's going for a paladin, of course. Bolt, banish, holy light coming in then. And he's going for a griffin aviary against the destroyers. And maybe even griffins. But he needs to reproduce the blacksmith somewhere. If he wants to go for him.
DK did not go for Death Pact, by the way.
Yeah,
against MK first. That's also really greedy. As an invul though. Oh, the MK! Now the hero levels are there. And I mean, of course, the Blood Mage, not the MK. Transferring the TP, getting out. Is there gonna be another nuke for the Mountain King? There comes a bolt, so no coil will be coming in, saving.
Weird game. I wonder if he can come back from this, because he's like lacking lumber so hard. He only has 100, like the gold lumber ratio is way off. He's trying, but yeah, he reproduced a lot of peasants to get that fixed.
That he's trying totally reminded me of the episode from Rick and Morty, Me Seeks and Destroy, where they're trying to help Jerry with his golf. Is he losing up on the swing? Oh boy, he's trying.
Yeah, kinda like that. The Lich, by the way, pretty good inventory with the claws and the gloves. Pretty mighty. He got the invul potion, of course, so he is aware that the nuke is strong, especially on tier 3. And he does, as you say, going for the red drake now. Sobi Mask would be tremendous, Flute would be tremendous. And Chimiko is stuck.
The MK is supposed to be level 5, the Paladin is supposed to be at least level 2.
Lionheart Storm wins. Definitely not
that was his game.
First Griffins are out now. I don't know if he has web. He does, alright. And Chimiko spent a good amount of his 2000 gold, only 500 left. And a lot more Griffins are in queue. If he finds the time to get that Griffin army up, it could still be his game. But 1-0 is pushing now, wants to capitalize on the mistake, going for the Paladin immediately, staffs him out.
But he's in not such great of a position, could be getting killed. If he dispels the heal and then the focus fire should be his end. Surrounding with the 2 A-bombs, and the third hero is down.
Yeah, no Holy Light anymore. The shop will be gone. And we're just waiting for more and more Griffins. He has 4 queued up. He has 3 on the battlefield. But this is so much time that he needs to buy. There aren't too many towers, so I think 1-0 could break this. But the Abominations are of course suffering now against 3 times magic damage.
1-0 is he wants to trade, he wants to fight before the Griffins reach that critical mass. And does Chaemiko really have the freedom to just camp in his base until they are all out? He's gonna lose the altar if he does that, it seems. Well, the Paladin's gonna come out at the back, thankfully. Otherwise, he would have died right away again. Oh, but good webs. Now he can kite back. The first Griffin in the front is gonna die very quickly. The A-bombs, one of them is down. The Fiends, though, for the most part, are still alive. The Breaker's starting to fall, but the damage from the Griffins, you can see it coming in here. And with the Bolt as well in conjunction is really, really high. And 1-0 is hiding back as he should. So much militia here. I'm not so sure that 1-0 is supposed to take this fight. Another Bolt comes flying in. Not finding one more kill. That one A-bomb seems to be the next target, but he will be getting healed up again. But now the DK out of mana officially. No more coils coming in. Maybe Chimiko can bring this back in the end.
It's so tight, man. The Lich has no Nova anymore. The Mountain King is there, though. Has an Imbu Potion. Might be forced into using it because, okay, there was silence on the Paladin, but now he's gone again. More Militia are coming in. The next Griffin dies, resulting in a level 5 on the DK. Level 3 coil, but yeah, you mentioned it. No mana anymore. It's coming in. Wants to get rid of the Crypt Fiends, of course, because then there's no weapon. He can't fight back anymore. Nice snipe. Killing that Abomination. And the front line of 1-0 is getting weaker and weaker. But on the other side, he kills a lot of Griffins, and they are so expensive.
Alright, only 2 Griffins left. Scratch that. Only 1 Griffin left. Oh, the Zeppelin still being utilized. That is such a value pickup in this matchup against the MK first. But most of the Fiends are dead as well. Here comes another Holy Light to keep the MK alive, who still has the invul. And the last Griffin, perhaps in this game, is falling.
There's still
with the next Bolt. He has so much mana on the MK, but he goes for the Fiend instead.
Staffs out the Paladin again, so he's out of the fight for now. No more Holy Light. That exposes the Blood Mage a little, who only has a heal potion, but also the Mountain King only heal potion now. Going for the Lich. Is there a follow-up damage? I doubt it. No. There was a coil, and Chimiko left the game, leaving 1-0 as the winner of this map. That was not to be expected after 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think in the beginning there, 1-0, falling kind of short, being surprised by the MK first, and Chimiko getting such a big lead and playing it really well, and then he doesn't make any units.
Yeah.
I'm trying to... Yesterday there was another player who also fell to this mistake. I'm trying to recall if it was Chimiko. Yeah, the greediness, man. We all know that feeling. I'm at 50 supply. I can wait a little longer.
I can wait a little longer.
I can wait a little longer. I can get so much money from this. And then suddenly the expo's dead.
Exactly. Well, but a good first game of the day, and I think Chimiko showed that he's up with 1-0 if he has a good start. And the next 2 maps will most likely be a little better for him. So yeah, let's see. I wonder if we have
by the way, should we go?
WFZ is leading 1-0 over Infi. That's all I know.
He has been slaying the humans lately, man.
Sick. Want to move to Skype or?
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, all right. Unmuting. Nope. No, now I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh man, the quality here is so shit.
Yeah, I know, but what can we do? What can we do?
I wonder what this is with Discord, man.
It's really crazy. Like, it must be some kind of setting in Discord that fucks your stuff up.
But
gotta fix it, bro.
It was never an issue before. What can be the issue?
I don't know. But yeah, we're waiting for the second game to appear in NetEase, and oh, is it? No, Fly's game is up. So this is the first Asian qualifier. We will start the first Western qualifier next week on Saturday, the Open qualifier. 2 slots for the main qualifier that is the week after. 6 players are invited. Those are Hawk, Rudin, Orc Worker, Foggy, Sonic, and Long Walk. And we need 2 more to fill the 8-player bracket. And yeah, very interesting participants already with Checky, Yas, Imperius. Ido could make a thing. The Mask was doing fairly good in the open qualifier at WCA. Not in the main qualifier though, but he's kind of back. And I heard, or I read, that another guy will participate. But I don't see it yet.
And yesterday, our viewers in chat were not victim. What's the word? Were witness. There we go. We're witness to another player, perhaps participating as well, and that is Creolifus. Creolifus was in chat yesterday and told us, well, I may have time. I should have time. So definitely possibility that he's going to be playing in the qualifier as well.
He asked me today how he can sign up for that, and I
you were referring to the same guy?
Yeah.
I thought you were thinking about someone else.
No.
Okay, because that wasn't really a secret. We already had him yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that, unfortunately. But yeah, that's gonna be good, man. I can't wait to see Creo back. I'm waiting for his stream for such a long time already.
Yeah, I was telling him yesterday, if he actually went to Shanghai and actually won, it would be the craziest.
That would indeed be the craziest story of all time in Warcraft.
The retirement champion twice.
But you know, we shouldn't expect too much since he hasn't played that for quite some time. But still, it's gonna be good to see him back and maybe get him for an interview or something like that.
All right. We have a lower bracket, of course, today, and tomorrow. So we're gonna have another chance for these guys. I think something we didn't yet mention is the biggest underdogs making it to the next round here, to the top 8. Who surprised you the most? I think it's a pretty obvious answer.
Yeah, it's Sini, of course.
Yeah.
Beating Lawlight 2-0 and also Shishi. I mean, for me it was so crystal clear that he will drop out in the losers round 1. But playing orcs against Night Elf seems to be his thing. And he was quite successful. I don't know the score of Moon versus Sini. But maybe he can slay the next Night Elf here. We'll see about that.
Moon was looking fucking amazing yesterday against Focus, though.
Indeed.
And Focus not so much on point, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but just take a look at the names that are not in this playoffs here today. Lawlight, Shishi, Remind, Focus, of course, as you said. Check is not in. And of course, with Linen and TH, two big dogs dropping out in the round of 64 already.
And the big question mark, Chimiko. Nobody really knows how good he is currently. We all know he has the makings of a champion when he plays like he did in NWL Season 2. But recently, haven't seen too much.
Once again, he was in a group stage with Life. I have a feeling like that always happens. In every single tournament, he's in a qualifier with Life. It was the case for... Was it Nostalgia Battlefield? I think so. Plus a few WCA and GCS qualifiers. And Life somehow always wins.
Do you have stats on that?
I can look it up. Where is it?
Is that perhaps his nemesis? The fingernail nemesis?
I gotta log into Liquipedia, then should be fine. Got the...
Yeah, Yumi, one of those players that I'm always rooting for. He's just such a kind-hearted person from what I can tell. Also very emotional, very, very emotional. So I know it hits him hard when he doesn't get where he would like to get. Always talking about disappointing his fans and stuff. But he's going to have quite a few chances more. We mentioned this yesterday a lot of times already. We're going to have 6 qualifiers in total for 16 spots. That's right. For the last GCSs, were they all exclusively qualifier spots, or were there some invited players?
It was all qualifiers.
Okay. How do you feel about that system?
I mean, it's a lot of content for us.
I mean, that's true, but that's just, you know, the numbers thing. Isn't it like a little redundant?
Yeah, it's true.
I
Especially
feel like
for the 3rd qualifier or the 4th qualifier then. I think the first... Wait a second. The first two qualifiers will be pretty good, but then we're gonna see a lot of mediocre players in the later rounds. Oh, the game should be up. Yeah, it's up on Amazonia. Yeah, so the later qualifiers will not be as epic as these might be.
I don't like the system where more than half of the participants are invited, but when it's like 16 players, I feel like you can't invite the 6.
Are you criticizing me for the Western qualifier now?
No, it's just a general esports thing. Because I feel like the best players, it's pretty damn likely that they're going to be qualifying anyways. I mean, the fairest approach is, of course, to have only qualified spots, but yeah, I feel when there's 16 spots, you can hand out some invites.
Yeah, I agree. And we go into map number 2
a player's forces are
with 1-0 leading 1-0. And yeah, Remo, Amazonia it is.
All right. For humans, hard to expand on, especially against Night Elf. The pressure they can apply on tier 1 is extremely high with Shadow Priest immolation and stuff. It's also really high for undeads if they go for ghouls, but that doesn't really seem to be a thing anymore. Against MK, we see ghouls every now and then. Against Archmage first, it's much more risky to go for a big number of ghouls. And yeah, we see instead the Ted Fiend tech by 1-0, which is very standard. Opting for the fast creeping first for the DK, so not the instant harass, but rather gathering some experience. But Chimiko, he knows about this. He came in to harass the creeping. He was able to steal one of those little trolls. And that's actually a big deal. If you get this entire camp, then you only need one footy kill to reach level 2 on the DK. And now he's further away from this and already has taken half HP damage. So this is a good start in the early game stages for the human.
But isn't it weird that Chaemiko picks Amazonia?
Yeah, I think it's an okay human map though, because the expansion might be hard, but you know, it's undead that you can't do too much on tier 1 usually.
I think it's a very strange choice, but maybe he feels super comfortable with getting the expo up here. That's why he's going for it. And this early game was once again pretty damn good. Steals the little troll now and gets some HP back, which he desperately needs. Because what I wanted to mention was... Oh, can you get this one? Yeah, got it, level 3. And a Potion of Greater Mana, nice. But yeah, he did some good damage to the DK, so 1-0 has to be a little more careful. This Footman chasing the Fiend around as well. So he definitely needs a coil on that one. And we saw on AZ, from TH, I guess, a lot of airplay with Dragonhawks and Griffins, and he tried to do that on AI in the end. So maybe he thinks, alright, I'm gonna do that strategy, I feel comfortable with it. But 1-0 is again on a super fast tier 2 before the expansion even almost started.
He has only one Fiend now though, Witch is hurt, the DK is hurt, here comes the second one, the Lich isn't here yet. So there is some aggression potential. How many footies do we have? 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, so 6 footies in total. This is a decent bit of pressure that the undead is facing. What's the DK doing? He's gonna be forced into a TP, just barely in range there to buy the heal pot. And he just ignores the pressure and runs over. Okay, oh, there's one of the Fiends, I guess, in the middle, was stranded there. And maybe Chimiko a little slow on the trigger. He could be going for Acolytes right now, but he fears the damage towards the expansion too much. I think that's a big mistake. If you lose all of your peasants at your expo, that's fine. If you kill all of the peasants in the gold mine, all of the Acolytes. So I think Chimiko making quite the mistake here. He had a good opportunity to go for some aggression, but now the peasants around almost. Doesn't quite get it though.
Yeah, also with the Footman, not the real block. We were praising him on map 1 for his mechanics. This time, not ideal, or not what he wanted to do.
You got the mini-map black, by the way.
Yeah, I know, because it's brown, so you can see the units.
Ah, okay. Next level strats by Neo.
Yeah, I always do that with brown and dark green, so people can see the army movement better. Still people complain because it's not what they are used to seeing.
Why don't you just turn ally colors on?
Fuck you!
Well, the mid game here settles a little. Both players in the middle of the map. DK is low. AM eating the Nova here. No boots of speed on him. Lots of humans like to purchase the boots on the AM here in these mid game stages since you have an excess of gold most of the time. Trying to go for a surround again. But this... Oh, nice! And he gets it once more. Chaemiko, man. He's got those moves down.
Yeah, and now the... Okay, Footman was in for a block, but he fails on that. But that was really cool. He wanted to block the Lich. So, okay, that failed. Turned around with the Footman and closed the surround with it. That was really nice. And the heroes are so low. I mean, Unholy Aura is helping. But, okay, there's the statue. That's kind of the saving grace. He goes for the Archmage immediately, now that he has the support unit. Still, oh, yeah, needs that coil, definitely. But once again, he's losing a lot of Footmen in this skirmish here, in the middle of the map.
That's kind of their purpose, though. Buy time for the towers. Speaking of which, we have one Arcane Tower coming up at the Expo Guard Tower, I mean. It's pretty late, to be honest. That could be quite a bit faster. You can see a super quick tech from the human. He has the Shredder already.
Switched down by a Nova! Loses the level 3. And now the floodgates are open to kill these towers. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think you were in the base of his, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's of course not supposed to happen. And now the late towers are really hurting him. Because now we only have an Arcane Tower, only a single one. Again, the greed from Chimiko, going for the Shredder first, going for the tier 3 first, when probably he should have gone for those towers. And of course, not lost the first hero.
Yeah, he's back from the tavern, but a big investment by Chimiko here. And how does he want to get back? The heroes are back to almost full health, thanks to the statues. The damage is there now as well with the 4 fiends that he has. And the heroes are rising in levels as well. Super close to 3. Level 2 already on the Lich. And no guard towers. Not a single one. And because he lost so many footmen, he can't just A-click in there with defend or something. It's just 7 of them.
Gonna be the level 3 for the DK. There we go. Finally get level 2 coil online. Tier 3 is gonna be hitting for the Undead in just a moment. That means 3rd hero and orb. And when you don't have towers and a lot of them to deal with that army, oh boy, it's looking bad for you.
Oh yeah. Maybe he can attack the statues. Oh no, he's just going for the fiends, which I don't really know if that's the best approach. Archmage way out of bounds again. Is there a Nova for him? Nope, moves away right before he hits the 125. Which is quite nice. Militia support again, maybe the last stand of Chimiko here. He would face, not elimination, but he would be thrown down to the lower bracket if he loses that map, as it is 1-0 in this best of 3.
Is he at least gonna get the statue? Can you find some silver lining in this game so far? 1-0 after the 1 Fiends around, hasn't lost anything here. But the Footies are keeping the Fiends at bay. Let's take a look at the towers. Still, none are up. And the tier 3 is now done. And he can't find any of these kills.
The micro of 1-0, just 1 level above everything else, saving all the Fiends, saving all the statues, and gets kills as well. The Archmage is out of the fight for such a long time now that Nova and Coil is online. And yeah, as you mentioned, the tower is still not up. Okay, 1 is up now, but that's easy. It's just like a little breakfast for the Fiends now.
A player's forces are under attack.
Archmage again, running into the army here, needs a potion. Should have the resources for it. Okay, there's the potion. Yeah, but the Coil is already there. He can't get a single kill. Sick.
One destroyer morphed close to the human main, which was also close to dying, that 1 statue. But yeah, he can't kill anything. Orb not yet delivered out. I guess he doesn't have backpack, excuse me.
Yeah, so the orb would be a great addition and maybe the nail in the coffin. Now there's 2 towers up, but he doesn't even have masonry, which is usually the upgrade that grinds your gears, as you can't kill the towers that easy anymore, especially with only piercing and magic damage.
That's a good point. I didn't even... Finally he gets the first kill here.
Whoa, but the Archmage being nuked, being right-clicked, has to force it, is forced.
He's going to his expo. Oh, and he knows about this. Healing potion. No, he wasn't close enough. Is he gonna eat the Nova? He wasn't close enough again. There we go.
Mountain King is there to help with a few Storm Bolts, but it's only level 1, you know. The Lich is already level 3.
And he isn't even utilizing his full arsenal. He still hasn't chosen a third hero. He doesn't have the orb. And he's still running away with this game at the moment.
He's not using Burrow and still saved all the Fiends except one.
Yeah, he's pretty good at controlling his units, that's true.
That's a big surprise to all of us. Yeah, he can't really mine from that expo anymore. Just losing one worker after another. At some point, Chimiko just has to move in. But with what? His army is ridiculously small.
But at what cost, Neo? Now here's Zeppelin. I wonder if he has web already. Wouldn't be too surprising.
Nope, just finished Burrow. Going for web now that he sees the Zeppelin. Still no backpack. This might be the only game I ever saw in the past 2 years with the undead not having an orb.
That's true, actually.
Except, of course, the Hate Love Anger tier 1 Ghoul Rush stuff. But he doesn't care. He doesn't go for backpack. Oh, tap out!
Man.
And 1-0 at the end. Too strong for Chaemiko, cleaning this 2-0. And
Yeah,
that
he
means 1-0, the first player in the winner bracket semifinal. And his opponent might be Moon.
Kind of ripping him a new one there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Between Envy and WZ, it seems to be a 1-1.
Yeah.
Second map was Twisted Meadows, which went to Envy, apparently.
Moon 1-2-0, and Fly is leading 1-0. So we have 1-0 versus Moon.
Ooh, that is so good. All right, we're gonna wait for that. We have to wait for that.
Definitely. I'm gonna tweet about that. Moon versus 1-0 hype. Twitch.tv/back2Warcraft. Alright. Retweet and like that shit. Because this is, at the moment, as good as it gets. TH and Lin both struggling, especially in this qualifier. Moon and 1-0 were in the finals of the AWL, a $9,000 tournament that just finished Thursday with a 4-2 win for the 5th race. And now it's rematch time for...
I'm so looking forward to this, man.
1-0.
2 months ago, we would have said that would be a 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, whatever.
Easy, yeah.
Sweep for 1-0 because Moon sucked in that matchup and 1-0 is just a god in it. But then he defeated him in a best of 7 with 4-2. A lot of money was lost if any of you guys were doing betting at that time. Nobody was having Moon as the favorite. Can he repeat it though?
That's
or
the
has
big question.
he tickled the ambition of 1-0?
I mean, it's not that much stuff on the line this time. It's just a slot. But I think for Moon, it should be, or for both players actually, it should be very prestigious. 1-0 is the defending champion of this, so of course he wants to qualify again. And Moon, he didn't qualify for the last GCS, so of course for all his fans and for himself, he wants to negate that stuff. And we have the straw poll up, everybody. Time to click that link. 1-0 on Moon. I'm really excited about the outcome of this poll this time. I mean, for 1-0 and Chimiko, it was fairly easy to vote since 1-0 was the big favorite. I think I will throw you into a small commercial break to re-energize a bit and give you some time to vote here and get some snacks for this main event that is coming up. Winner bracket semifinal, 1 slot to China, to Shanghai, Moon versus 1-0, and we're gonna be right back.